I know you said in the week that you're not worried about the offensive struggles you guys have had, but how do you explain today with so many chances and 4 out of these 5 games so far, you guys have been shut out? How do you explain what's been going on?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure how to explain it, right? I mean, I know that when I'm watching my team play that it's a good team and that we're, in many ways we're executing game plans the right way. And in a lot of these games, I think we come out in many ways as the better team on the day, but walk away with not enough goals and giving up too many. So obviously that is a recipe for losses. The one thing that I will say is that my belief in our team being a good team hasn't wavered at all. It's just a funny thing to see how things have materialized in these early parts of the season. I mean, you could almost draw a lot of little cliches and metaphors for what happened tonight as what's been happening in our season. So, we can't feel sorry for ourselves. The breaks will come eventually as long as we stick together and keep playing hard and keep playing well.
Jesse, we'll go to your far right to Christian.
Last year, Bradley was taking PKs, then he went off PKs.
Yeah.
Is he back with PKs? Will he be PKs moving forward? And can you just offer up an assessment on his play tonight? 10 shots and no goals yet this season.
Yeah, well, it's Sasha and Brad are our penalty takers. And so it's up to them to decide who's taking penalties. I love that Sasha said, you know what, Brad, take it. Get on the board, get yourself a goal, and we're getting back in this game. Now, it doesn't work out that way. And, we went through this a little bit last year with Vancouver when Brad had missed a couple. But my belief in him doesn't change based on missing a penalty or missing some chances. Overall, I thought he was very dangerous, a handful for their center backs. And, it's incredible just that with all the good play he's had and the good positions he's put himself in that he hasn't been able to put them away yet. But they're going to come. I mean, I don't, I've said that already in the past and I'm going to continue to say it. He's going to score goals. It's just that's the player he is. We see it in training every day. We've seen it both of the last 2 seasons, so it's only a matter of time.
Jesse, we'll go to your right to Eric.
Jesse, when you look at the goals that have been conceded this year, I mean, you and your players have chalked up a lot of it to individual mistakes here and there. What do you think it was tonight that allowed them to get onto the board twice and win the game?
I mean, the first play, it's a little bit of a breakdown, and we allow, a couple of plays to get away from us, and then they've created a 3-on-1, basically. So that's partly tactical and partly not dealing with a couple of plays coming at them. And then, the second one, Chris just gets a little too tight on Dwyer, and he's strong and clever, and he slips away, and now all of a sudden he's, right there at the goal. So hard to explain that. Hard to explain how we can create so many things and be so dangerous, and they don't create much, but wind up walking away with 2.
Jesse, we'll go first to your right, front row.
Hey, Jesse, I wanted to get your assessment on Connor Lade's play. I saw he was up in the offensive zone often. Just wanted to see what you thought about how he played tonight.
Yeah, I thought he played well. Thought he took care of Graham Zusi pretty well on the whole night. Got forward and got some shots off, put some crosses in, was dangerous on the day. Pretty good. I mean, honestly, there aren't many guys that I look at and say had poor performances. It's just that collectively we gave a couple away and just weren't able to now execute and put one away. But that's going to come. Honestly, that's going to come. And trying to instill belief and remove anxiety from our group so that we can just go out and play with free minds and commit to who we want to be. So that's kind of where we're at.
Jesse, to your left with Dan.
Jesse, 2 questions. First, Duval, obviously first time playing center back. And how did you feel his performance was tonight?
For the most part, very good. And then he just let the goal slip away from him. And that's often the difference between what it's like to play at outside back and center back. Is center back, you almost have to be 100% on the day with plays. And so he let one slip and it cost us a goal. But overall, for a guy who's filling in for us, who's trying to do the job at the best level that he can and committing to it and not afraid and competing, and he's going to be hard on himself. I saw his head down. I was trying to say to him, don't worry about it. Like he filled in great for the team tonight. It's just unlucky that now he lets one get away.
And not to rehash what happened last week in New England, but Connor Lade, I don't know if the ball hit him or he got hit by Zuzi on that, whatever happened towards the end of the first half, and the whistle never blew because he was down for a bit. Was that, like, in your mind, like, that should have been blown at least to see if Connor's okay? Because he was down for a bit towards the end of the first half.
I didn't. I thought at the time that maybe he might have been fouled. So, I was just trying to assess if it should have been a penalty. I thought Brad got clipped in the first half when Lloyd got a shot off. I think that could have been a penalty. Listen, I thought Kansas City played the game in an honorable way and played hard. I think, yeah.
We'll go front row here in the middle.
On your thoughts in the final third, do you think, in terms of, was it more your team's inability to convert chances or the way Sporting KC, their defense, and in particular Tim Elliott performed?
Certainly the goalkeeper had a great night, right? Made some huge saves. You have to credit Kansas City in general to come here and get a shutout against what I consider as a good, I think we're a good team and we're a good attacking team. For them to get a shutout in our place, and that's a great accomplishment for them. Certainly on the day, their goalkeeper was their star. So, yeah.
We'll go front row to Ivis.
Jesse, how did you come to the decision to go with Chris Duval at center back? You had a rookie and Carroll on your bench. Moby Kuga's been in camp. What led you to go with him at center back? And also, where do you see your options going after this at center back? Do you have guys coming back? Do you think you'll sign a Kuga? Like, where does that stand?
Not sure is the answer. We have, Moby's playing in our USL game tomorrow night, so we'll get a look at him. We're hopeful that Kamar Lawrence is day-to-day, so maybe he's available for Wednesday in San Jose. So that is an option. Zubar's day-to-day, so he's close. But we don't also want to just throw guys out there to get re-injured. So, we have, and then you ask about Zach Carroll, he'll play a little bit tomorrow night, and I think, he went through a little dip in form at the beginning of the year, but I think he's now gotten himself going again. So we'll evaluate if that's a decision we want to make. So, I'll be honest, it's not like I have all the answers right now. You guys are watching what I'm watching. There's a lot of really good things there. And I think for the most part that we've had good performances this year and we've walked away with losses. So I've got to, think hard about some of the choices, but also continue to instill belief in this team. And from the biggest reason being that I believe in them. I believe in what I'm looking at. I believe in our team, and I know we're going to be a good team. So it's just a matter of now getting some breaks and getting over the hump to where we want to be.
We'll go second row center to Michael.
Hey, Jesse, we all know how passionate you are. How are you personally taking this start to the beginning of the season?
It's a good question, Michael. I tell our team that one of the things that I like about this business is not the easy times, it's the tough times, right? Because I think that the strongest people are the strongest in the toughest moments. And so whether it was as a player or now as a coach, I enjoy those moments, okay? And I make sure that in all ways that I'm hard on myself, that I look at myself first, but that I do everything I can to help our team be strong, have a good mentality, work hard every day to get inches closer to success at every moment. So right now, again, I said it earlier, but I look at myself first, try to figure out what I need to do to help these guys be the team I know they can be.
We'll take two more. First to the left to Brian.
Jesse, considering the frustration that's building with the lack of goals, Zizzo got a yellow card for running in to dispute a non-penalty call that he thought. How much does that concern you, that this is going to manifest itself in something you really don't want?
Well, yeah, but it's important that in our own way that there's a mentality and a togetherness and and in some of these moments, if you don't feel like you're getting what you should be getting from a referee or from a moment or whatever, that still, obviously without getting cards, but you've got to find ways of standing up for yourself, right? And listen, I'm not even going to go back to New England, but in these moments, like without having it be frustration, but having it be in a real strong ways, make statements that say that if you think that something needs to be done to correct something that you think isn't going the right way.
We'll take our last one to Russ here on the right.
With Felipe out on suspension because of the red card in New England, Sean Davis got a chance to start in that position. How did you think he did?
Thought Sean did really well. And it's funny. I mean, he hasn't played that much for, I don't know, maybe he has 10 games under his belt, but I don't even think of him as a young guy or as a rookie type player. I think of him as an established guy within our team that we know we can count on, and when he plays, we know what we're going to get, and that was again tonight. So certainly for me, he had a great night, and Dax wasn't feeling well, so that was one of the reasons why I took him off the field at the end, and I knew that even with Dax not being well or Dax not being on the field at the end, that Sean would be fine in there, and he was. So I thought really good performance for Sean.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.